And they're headed by Bewleysbury at 11-2 Graham Lee. Bobbin is a grey. Joe Tizard in the saddle at 20-1. Brewster, the 5-2 favourite Richard Johnson. Del Vento at 100-1 Andrew McNamara. Gaelic Music and Matty Batchelor at 100-1. Jackson is ridden by Wayne Hutchinson at 66-1. Celtic Rock at 100's Mark Bradburn. Moulin, Riche and Robert Thornton at 9-1. Timmy Murphy on Over the Creek at 9-2. Romany Prince at 33-1. Paul Carberry. Senor Sedona, James Davis at 33-1. Stage by stage at 25 for Jimmy McCarthy. Thames and Mick Fitzgerald at 13-2. Vavavoom is ridden by Tom Scudamore at 66-1. At 12s, Washington Lad and Tony McCoy. Without a doubt, Seamus Jurek at 66-1. Also 66s is Kings Bay and Jim Crowley. And Lady Zephyr, the mount of Carl Llewellyn, at 14-1.
Yeah, really good race this for a new addition for 3-miler for the novices. Good first prize of £43,000, and pluses for us: Brewster and Moulin, Riche going to the post, Del Vento, Romany Prince in the betting ring, and on the exchanges Bewleysbury and Brewster, and negatives Over the Creek, Washington Lad.
Strong support for Brewster into 5-2 favourite now. Very weak is this Over the Creek for Martin Pipe, a 5-1 chance. Out to 14-1 is Lady Zephyr.
So coming forward, and away they jump then for this Brit Insurance Novices Hurdle, starting off down the hill away from the enclosures. And Gaelic Music on the outside in the maroon sleeves, Brewster in the black and yellow colours near side, Senor Sedona in the centre as they arrive at flight number 1. And they're followed by Washington Lad towards the right in a noseband. Romany Prince is quite handy, so too Bewleysbury on the far side. The grey is Bobbin, and then Vavavoom and Jackson as they clear the next. Towards the rear at the moment, Lady Zephyr. So Over the Creek is held up towards the back. On towards flight number 3, Gaelic Music and Senor Sedona from Brewster, Bobbin. Then Romany Prince and Washington Lad up the inside. Followed then by Jackson, stage by stage, and Moulin, Riche and Thames up the inside in white sleeves. Then back in the field, Del Vento in a yellow jacket. Over the Creek and Celtic Rock as they now run up the hill towards the next flight. Gaelic Music and Matty Batchelor, who won the first race here yesterday, riding again for Mark Bradstock as they clear this flight. Without a doubt, one of the back markers in yellow sleeves on the inside of Lady Zephyr. As they reach the highest point of the race course, about to swing left-handed. And Gaelic Music from Senor Sedona, Bewleysbury and Brewster. Vavavoom in a green jacket wide of the nose-banded Romany Prince. Washington Lad round the inside, then Bobbin and Thames. Followed by Kings Bay out wide. Lady Zephyr at the back still. Moulin Riche in the orange sleeves. Just come into shot in a moment. The white face, the French raider Moulin Riche. Over the Creek still towards the back on the inside. Blue and green jacket with the white cap. Similar-ish colours to Celtic Rock, who's in the rear. Without a doubt out the back as they jump the next. And over this one, and an incident there, Gaelic Music clashed with Senor Sedona, and one is down, Bewleysbury is down there. And so a bit of a reverse for Graham Lee and the Howard Johnson team, Bewleysbury. And it was very fortunate indeed that nothing was brought down there, because Bewleysbury went down amongst horses as they make the wrong run. Apologies if you lost us a moment or two ago. Bobbin the grey has moved right up there as they make this top bend and start down the hill. And making this run now, Brewster on the inside in the black and yellow jacket, Bobbin, Washington Lad in third place, then Thames and Moulin Riche. Over the Creek is under pressure as they start down the hill, and it's Brewster that has the lead, but the grey Bobbin travelling nicely. On the right, Washington Lad with the white face. Thames is wider out in white sleeves, then Moulin Riche stage by stage, and Over the Creek as they arrive at the second last. Bobbin joining Brewster, and Brewster is going to have to call on his reserves of stamina now. Moulin Riche moves up out wide, going very well indeed in the hands of Robert Thornton, who won the first race. Then Thames back in fourth place, and over the creek they run round the turn. Bobbin from Brewster. Moulin Riche cantering on the near side. Then over the creek. Behind these is Thames. They race down towards the final flight, three in a line, and Moulin Riche has come galloping all over the other two as they race towards the line, held on to by Robert Thornton here. The French raider Moulin Riche at the last jumps it in front. Brewster is rallying. He's got bottomless stamina. In third is Bobbin. Over the creek is running on. In fourth place now goes third. Moulin Riche getting a bit lonely in front. Robert Thornton shakes him up. Brewster and over the creek both snapping at his heels. It's still Moulin Riche, 2 lengths in front, less than 50 yards to cover, and Moulin Riche goes on to win for Francois Dumaine, and a notable double for Robert Thornton. Close for second between Over the Creek and Brewster. Then Bobbin, followed by Thames, stage by stage. Then after stage by stage, without a doubt, and Jackson. They're followed back by Romany Prince, and then Kings Bay. Behind Kings Bay, Celtic Rock, Senor Sedona, and after Senor Sedona, Lady Zephyr. And trailing back in the end to Washington Lad, dismounted after the line along with Del Vento, and then Vavavoom was just about last to complete. Well, Moulin Riche for trainer Francois Dumaine, who's already sent out Calamy to win at this meeting. Barracuda, of course, second yesterday. And Robert Thornton now challenging for the leading jockey at the meeting. That's 3 winners for him. All smiles today. A double in the first 2 races. And Moulin Riche had this wrapped up going towards the final flight. Just seemed to get a bit lonely in front halfway up the running. But in fairness to this horse, he has picked up well when Robert has had to get serious with him. Because Brewster, the horse in the centre there, in the black and yellow diamonds, he just keeps staying. That was a big jump from him at the last. Bobbin just feeling the pinch on the far side. And Over the Creek was the one that stayed on as well as the winner up the hill. Terrific race.
Moulin Riche returned 9-1, clear 5th favourite. Moulin Riche beats Over the Creek, the 5-1 second favourite. Brewster was third, the 9-4 favourite, and you won't get paid on the fourth. Bobbin at 20-1. And that Moulin Riche 7th to Made in Japan in the Triumph Hurdle a year ago. And it's all the 9s for Robert Thornton. 9-1 Penzance in the first, and he completes a 99-1 double for Robert Thornton. And the distance is 2.5 lengths and a neck.